everybody? Welcome to Wellness Week here. DJ Anthony. Yes, that's right. I'm a real DJ, actually. I'm not hoping to be a DJ. And Magnus, our biochem master. So what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in yesterday to Wellness Week. And today, this is our Wellness Wednesday run, where Magnus and I are going to discuss some topics. And we already posted those topics on the moniker or the board here. You'll see it if you're not looking. But so Magnus, how you doing? Since the last time I saw you, which was like 23 hours ago.
I'm good.
Right.
It's always things moving on. You know, that's what life is about. No, like as long as you take some time to sit still and kind of relax too. So now I'm good. How are you?
Good. I had to laugh because before I said, "Oh, you're running around," and you said. You go, yeah, I had to run to Santa Monica. It's crazy. I'm like, dude, I wish I could say that sentence. I have to run to Santa Monica, man. I'm here in Jersey.
It's actually San Diego, but it's not that far from. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, no, that's the benefit of living in Southern California. It's like the weather is so amazing, and this is coming from a guy that lived in Sweden for 40 plus years, and
wow.
And yeah, and that's one of, like, my dad used to say this when we were kids. It's like, yeah, do you know why I travel so much? Because in Sweden, we basically have 9 months of winter, and then we have 3 months of bad skiing conditions. So, so that's kind of a fun story about my dad. But
should I feel bad for Magnus? He has to go to San Diego. Wah, wah, wah. I'm stuck in. By the way, have you ever been to New Jersey?
Yes. Yeah.
Hard to hear that. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been in New York, I've been in New Jersey. So SAS, the Scandinavian airline, usually go into Newark. So we always land in New Jersey. So we like Jersey strong, man.
All right. So listen, I love Newark, but Newark is not, it's only a city. But I'm saying, like, one of these days we'll have to take you to the real New Jersey, which is northeastern corner of New Jersey. That's kind of Jersey. Everything else is kind of like Pennsylvania. Which is, or Pennsylvania, we say. Hey, I have Pennsylvania. Get it done, y'all.
I have a couple of fun things. Is that one of my closest childhood friends? He lives in LA now and working in the movie industry. He went to the same university as you did. I saw that the other day. I'm like, yeah.
It's because like MSU can be misconstrued for Michigan or Minnesota.
No. Montclair. So So that's a funny kind of side story.
It's
like
not
how
a huge university. It's a regional university. But by the way, Bruce Willis, the actor, is an alumni of my college.
Oh, so. Interesting.
Bruce Willis and me and a bunch of other people.
Same haircut as I have.
Yeah, man. Yeah, come on, dude. But yeah. So yesterday was awesome having the dietitian on, Phyllis.
Yeah.
Actually, I have another dietitian coming on named Heather next week. I don't know if it's Tuesday or Monday. And basically, she's a registered dietitian also. And you and I will talk about this off camera down the road, if you want to come join us. But her specialty is she specializes in only nutrition for men. A dietitian for men, and particularly concentrating on heart health. I'm like, oh, we got to have her on. I mean, and I'm sure Phyllis can handle that too. So it'll be fun to talk to her and kind of get talking about us men as a species being, we don't listen. So, but yesterday was cool. And thanks for being on. And, Phyllis is great.
Can I add something to that, which is so funny? That's something that I noticed, when you're watching a lot of commercials in this country, because you get exposed to them, even if you're trying to avoid them.
Oh, yeah.
Is how fast food or certain food items are particularly like geared for men. It's like manly food. It needs to be a lot of meat and bacon and cheese and gravy. And it's like, and they kind of say that it's like a manly food. And they're like, well, that's the worst thing that you can eat. And they're trying to like say that you should be eating it.
Magnus.
And it's sad.
It's crazy. Listen, I coach tennis. I compete in tennis tournaments now. Like, I'm not some used to be dude. And I do triathlons. And you're a very active person. It amazes me. Think about this, right? When they advertise manly food or like supplements, and now obviously a woman or a man can eat whatever and take whatever. But it seems to me, my observation, when men take supplements, it's these big jars of big things and the scoops, and like the women, they're advertised something else, maybe like a small bottle or something, it's so disingenuous
and the colors,
cliche. It's
color scheme too.
Yeah,
and
well,
the names,
of course.
The names. I mean, how?
Yeah, get ripped, get down.
And it's not that. It's like rage, extreme, testosterone blast.
It's just insane. And I know you see this, and you work in this, and I don't work in I work in fitness, but not like you do. Like you're directly working with people exercise. Like I'm doing a sport, but yeah, it's just so disingenuous and so misleading, and and this is what I was saying yesterday. Like, we need to take, and I know but it's like, hey, if you're going to take your pills and go to the doctor, go to a dietitian too. Like, because getting the big vat of powder, that's not health, that's not nutrition. That's a product that may or may not help you, but it's about food, proper rest. Eating the right thing. And that's what I was saying. Like, we all know people that they complain, hey, I've been working out 10 days a week. I can't, how come I can't get a ripped stomach? And how come I can't lose weight? Because you're eating French fries and chicken and bagels and fried this. Yeah, it's like, no, man.
That's so interesting too. It's also like there's difference between supplements and supplements, and this we can have a whole conversation about.
And we should next. I'm going to write that down. We got to have a
So and that's what is important, and that's the thing too. Also, like if you're doing certain things, you should basically. I'm not a huge supplement guy. I'm not
against supplements either, but go ahead.
You kind of you need to think of what you're putting yourself, like what you're putting in your body too, and why you're doing it. Because a lot of the people use supplements as a magic pill. I mean, their lifestyle is completely crap, and they want a supplement. Oh, I need something, a fat burner. I need something energy and things like that. No, what you need to start eating better, and you need to go to sleep. And you should probably not pop in like 8,000 milligrams of caffeine just to be able to function, and you're walking around like all amped up, like you're dying.
Magnus, like I said, I've done multiple triathlons, okay? Yeah. And I didn't do this crap where 10,000 milligrams right. I got to get amped up on 95, 200, and the powder, and I'm doing a triathlon. You got guys, particularly, that are just working out for an hour, and they're just loading up on stuff like they're running a marathon for 9 days. It's insane, It's like, I do a triathlon, I eat right, I sleep. I'm not taking 2 vats of powder in the jewel. It's just so, and I don't know. What the hell do I know?
But that's another thing. Like when you go into a grocery store, you think that, oh, this country, like, wow, they must be like at it all the time, training and things like that. Because the amount of sports drinks and energy drinks that are out there, it's like it, and then it's like it's the same thing. As sports drinks they were made for people that are physically active for hours, and then when you
grinding.
Yeah, and then when you see people as you walk in the ground, like down in it, like it's nothing, and you and tons of it, and a lot of that is just it's the cheapest components you can get,
and it's all sugar.
So you basically it's basically syrup and water.
Listen, I did for lack of a better term, a marathon. It's called the Grand Fondo. They do it all over the world. It's a leg of the Tour de France. It's a 104-mile cycling race. One clip, one shot, all day.
Yeah.
Okay. That was one of the most grueling things I've done. And what did I drink? I can tell you I didn't drink that. I'm not going to name the name, but the colored water drink. I drank coconut water or water. So, again, if I'm doing 103 miles in one sitting, the dude in the gym should not be drinking the orange colored, green colored water. Like it's just not. No. It's right. It's all chemicals. It's a joke, dude. And don't get me wrong. I'll pop a Gator.
A G soda.
I'm gonna watch it here. I gotta put on my lawyer hat. Hold on here. All right. So I will drink that colored stuff. I'm not gonna say I don't, but it's like and it does have some value to it. But let me just say this though. This is interesting. So I'm doing the Grand Fondo a while back, and like I said, the cycling marathon, and there was like a 5,000 riders, like a very, very serious thing. They shut down the George Washington Bridge. Like it's like legit, like, so it was awesome.
Yeah, it's a race.
Oh, dude, yeah. So it's a lot of fun. And I had to train for months prior. Anyways, my point is, we get up to the top of the mountain because it goes from the George Washington Bridge, the base, and you go like I don't even know how many kilometers up vertical, but you're on the top of a mountain is the midway point. So we get to this thing called Bear Mountain. So we're on the top of the mountain, and I'm already like hypoglycemic, even though I'm drinking that. And it just blew my mind. This was kind of funny. And so there were rows and rows and rows of soda, like the very popular brand soda, and rows of brownies. And I'm like, what the is this? Like, I felt like, how dare they give us this crap, And then it hit me, wait a second, because I was like trembling, from doing 50 miles just now, whatever. And I'm like, oh, I get it. They want to stabilize you because all of us are hypoglycemic and you need a quick shot of, just sugar. I think that would be the only time that you would actually eat or drink that crap, is just to stabilize yourself. Because I was literally shaking. I couldn't hold on to my bicycle. And so I was like, oh, it made sense. Whoever organized this is smarter than I am. Anyways, but other than that, I wouldn't be eating that crap, But so, anyways. Let me say this. Can we? You froze up, by the way. Oh, okay.
No, I'm moving. I'm just listening to you.
You're a good listener, man. I'm a good talker.
No, that's right. 2 ears, 1 mouth.
You're good, man. Yeah. No, I get into trouble because I'm like 5 mouths in 1 ear. But so I want to talk to you today about, hey, how is my stress level going right now? How is yours? My stress level right now, like today so far, and I'm going to jinx myself because I'm sure it's going to go all to pot. I'm doing good. My stress is good. I'm doing okay today, but then the day's not over. But how's your stress today? Like,
now talking to you is pretty low.
God bless you.
Yeah, it's like this, like doing things that I enjoy doing. Like
right.
Even if it's like you get a little bit amped up because you're going in on a live and things like that, and but it's more kind of a competition kind of mindset that you want to perform and do good.
Yeah.
So it's very good. Like overall, like even with the move and everything like that, it's been stressful because there's so many things you need to learn about, like just moving and back and forth and like getting to know your new home and all those things. So, but we're getting there. I'm always concerned about my, like my family members' health and all those things. But I'm very much a person that like I can only stress out of the things that I have control of. So I worked a lot on dealing with stress over the years. So I think that I'm doing fairly good, So
I've gone to therapy for it, like legit, like PhD therapy for it. I had to go see a doctor for my stress and anxiety. That's how bad it was back in the day. I mean,
what was your biggest concern back then? Like what was triggering your kind of stress levels?
Yeah, well, because I'm an idiot. That's why. But but it's really kind of it. The doctor's like, Mr. Capone. The doctor's like, I'm trying not to give out every single. Here's my social security number, folks. Okay, we have to have a little mystery like the rock and roll group Kiss. Wear makeup. Anyway,
paint ourselves.
So the doctor says to me, Anthony, you don't have a problem. You're just an a-hole. So I was like, what? No. So the thing is, So I don't get stressed out of things I should get. My house could be on fire. That wouldn't bother me. But if like a book is not in the right shelf, I will lose I don't know. It's weird. So literally like, that's it. Like it's an obsessive compulsive type of deal.
Yeah.
And I joke about it, but it was wearing on me. Like it was for years, and it's not a good thing. Like I had to go see somebody. This is what we talked about before. Like, in America, probably all over the world, it's like, oh, you went to go see somebody, a life coach, a rabbi, whatever. Priest, a doctor. Oh, you're crazy. No, we all need
one of the best thing you can invest your time and money in is hiring a coach and
whatever you call it, right?
Yeah, any type, like whatever you're trying to develop and get better at, like hiring a coach, and sometimes it's just getting better at life.
Right.
That's why they're life coaches. I mean, right. So I think it's super important that you take that part, like like learning how to deal with stress, because stress is always going to be there. And also like learning how to reduce stress. Like, well, maybe I should pack my bag the night before, so I know it's out of the way, so I don't have to like lie awake about it thinking, oh, I need to pack my bag. Like, this is just an example. But so you're like, I always say this, like, have routines and schedules, like you have everything kind of lined up, so because that makes your life way more enjoyable. Yeah, like we're talking about, like it's having like discipline equals freedom, and that's what it all comes down to, you know.
100%.
And yeah,
I was gonna say, so right, and by the way, you alluded to it just before, but talking, you know, like even you and I being on this show, it's a type of really even talk therapy for us, even though we're providing content that's useful, but just to talk to somebody. And that's really what I went to cognitive therapy. It sounds fancy, but all it is I was talking to somebody, and it's a great thing. You know, it's nice. And if you can talk to someone, friend or family, great. But sometimes it's good to have a third party that has nothing to gain or lose, you know, and that you can talk to. And that's really what it was. I was just like, oh, you know, dude, I'm stressing about, at the time, you know, I'd be like stressing about germs. You know, I before there was COVID, I was the original germaphobe. Like, so. You know, but anyways, but my thing was like, like I would stress over the stupidest things. I'd be like, it's cold and flu season. Like, there's an article. Somebody died of the flu in, Idaho. That could happen to me. Like, I would lose my mind, and so I had to like chill, dude, like stuff like that. I would, I don't know. And so I had to talk that out, and through talk, AKA cognitive therapy, it sounds fancy, so they can charge you a lot of money. But it's just talk. And so, but it's powerful. And I always tell people, and I'm not saying, so if you go to the George Washington Bridge or the Golden Gate Bridge where you live, you know what's on the bridge? Phones. Because God forbid someone's trying to commit suicide. The most powerful thing is talk. It's not a bottle of pills on the bridge. It's a phone. And that's powerful. And I know I'm taking to an extreme here. And I'm not suicidal, nor was I suicidal. But even if I was, which I wasn't, again, there's no shame in that for any of us. Go get the help you need. I'm saying, though, the premise is talk is powerful. What I am saying that I had was an anxiety problem over things that I'm joking, saying, oh, that they were just crazy or stupid or silly, but they weren't, because it turned out being serious for me. It made me stressed. It made me anxious. And so we all have that. It doesn't matter. You don't have, and we talked about this before, just because I wasn't on D-Day in World War II doesn't mean I can't complain. We all have problems, and they're all important to us. Anyways, so my point is, talk therapy is so powerful that there's a phone on every single major bridge in the country, probably all over the world. Why? Because talk is that powerful. To talk to a human, to connect, even if it's a stranger. And that's what I was saying for me, my particular case, just being anxious, that helps, and talk helps no matter what, whether it's just some anxiety or, God forbid, you're like going to do something bad to yourself. That's how powerful talk is. And that's why there's a phone on every single bridge in the country. Anyways, so that's to answer your question, to go on and on. I want to talk about, because I know I want to respect your time and get you back to your stressful life of moving. A big shout out to your in-laws or whoever for sponsoring you today, letting you talk in their room.
Oh, they're awesome. They're the best people in the world. I mean, I love them. They're so warm and invited me into their home and family, and they're great people.
You see, and this is great because Magnus, this is recorded. Now you can share that with them and say, look what I think of you. I told the whole world that you're just amazing. You see that? Okay. So deep breathing, by the way, was another one. Now I don't know about you, Magnus, do you do any kind of deep breathing at all or no?
Well, that's something for me. It's kind of natural, and because I got coached about it when I played football. So we got invited to this kind of elite sport camp in Sweden that a select few players got invited, and we went there, and they were talking a lot about like mental aspect and preparation, and also about deep breathing. So I learned about it really, really like early in my career in life. So, which I'm super, super happy about, because so on average, we take about, I think it's around 20,000 breaths per day. If we do something wrong 20,000 times, it put a lot of stress on our bodies. And this is something that people like seldom look at. That's one of the first things that I look at on when I'm like personal training or talking about with nutrition and things like that. How is your breathing? Are you a chest breather or a belly breather? If you kind of make it simple.
Right.
Chest breathers, you see that a lot. Worst thing, very stressful. Basically, go in our central nervous system, goes into the sympathetic, and it's stress. So learning how to breathe is one of the most important things that you can do for your health, and like even for actually burning body fat off your body.
Because we're increasing the oxygen in our lungs. Because when we breathe, we never breathe, or not never, but most of the time we don't breathe to the capacity of oxygen that we could consume, but we don't. And more oxygen is more better for you. It has, so, more better. Anyways, but to your point, and before I forget, so I've always known of deep breathing, but I typically am just, when I'm too busy, like to breathe. So I'm going to do an experiment right now. You and I can do it. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. The viewers are going to do it too. I promise you, after the 3rd breath, you're going to be like, dude, I kind of feel better a little bit. And then you'll see. And so that's what I've been doing of late. Every so often, I just like slowly let it out. 1, it doesn't have to hold it. You don't have to hold it for 10 days. But my point is, and I know you know this, Magnus, but for the people watching, like if you don't know, or if you did know, you're going to be reminded of how important just 3 deep breaths before I go into a situation, or if I'm feeling anxious. And does it cure everything in life? No, it doesn't. But everything's a tool. Everything's a tool. Everything's a little tool, little breathing, little walking, little nutrition, little proper sleep. It all comes together. So, okay, I'm ready to do the experiment. Here we go. Because I know that you're a science guy. I'm trying to impress you with my experiment here. All right, so just 3 deep breaths. Watch this. Trust me. I'm going to get messages like, dude, oh my God, I felt so good. You're welcome, by the way. All right, here we go. Ready? Ready, go. 1, out, 2, 3, out. 1 more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I swear to you, I feel a little better. I feel a little less like stressed. Now, my stress will come back on again, whatever, but that's a natural way.
Breathe again.
Right.
Take a breathing break.
I'm not saying go around all day like people are going to think you're nuts, but I'm just saying, especially if you're outside, get that fresh air. And it's cuckoo, but it's not cuckoo. It's common sense, right? More air, more better, more oxygen, more better, more better. Thank you, Magnus. Okay.
It's also using the right muscles. Like if you're looking at like you actually using your belly, your like a lot of muscles in there that needs to work, and it's also like helps with digestion and all of those things too, and hinder constipation and all that. So breathing, learning like actually breathing correctly is something that everybody should do. And there's a lot of nice like breathing programs you can do. Like it's called, one of the things are called box breathing. Another guy, a famous Dutch guy, Wim Hof.
I know Wim Hof. I've been watching the cold water. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's basically like climbing mountains without a t-shirt on, and he's like under ice water. He's such a character, but it's so cool that his own research has actually started, like a lot of like research has started going into it too, and proven him like what should be wrong is right. So it's amazing.
Really, by the way, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, really, really interesting. If someone is interested, his name is Wim Hof. Yep. So yeah, you can look into that.
Yeah, and then Magnus and I are not, again, we're not doctors. We're not trying to cure problems. We're just talking, and we're not saying go follow everything that Wim Hof does. But it's curious just to take a look. And what he's saying,
it's a tool,
right? And talk to your healthcare professional and whatever, all that stuff. But yeah, Wim Hof is interesting, right? As you know, cold therapy, or sleeping in a colder room, not ice cold, but the cold, again, not living in it every second, but short blast of a cold shower for a minute or two, stuff like that. You see that in NBA and NFL and Major League Sports, they put the guys in cryotherapy for like 30 seconds in deep cold. And there is many benefits to that. Even just sleeping in a slightly chillier room instead of maybe 70 degrees, 68 degrees, something like that, or instead of 68, 65, whatever. But so, okay. So let me ask you this. I know we're running down on time. So today was about like, what did we eat? So, okay. What did you eat for breakfast, Magnus?
So I usually go in between two kinds of breakfast. So one of the thing that I usually eat like every weekday is I have eggs, I cook them like differently in certain ways, because that is also because eggs are one of the things that you can actually get like, yeah. So switching the way you cook them actually help not getting too like get sensitive to it. Right. And then I usually have oatmeal with flax in them.
And that's good.
Then frozen berries, usually like with my oatmeal, and then some type of greens like salad, usually spinach and maybe some broccoli, things like that, or peppers and things like that. So that's kind of my normal breakfast. On weekends, I try to like splurge a little bit. Then I actually do my protein smoothie. So it's a smoothie with like spinach, kale, fruits, pineapple, which is a fruit, of course, apples, berries, coconut milk, almond milk, plant-based protein powder, some chia seeds. So yeah, that's that it's so nutrient dense, so that lasts a long time,
and you don't even feel hungry for like 8 hours. You're good,
and it tastes like a milkshake, to be honest. Like it's like a type of milkshake, and it's phenomenal. So that those things, and then usually I have a piece of a toast with peanut butter on it, trying to get some good organic peanut butter. And those sort of things that I usually like. That's my breakfast. Sometimes I had yogurt, overnight oats, or something like that. But I'm fairly simple. What about you?
I'm right behind you. That's what I eat. Every morning, like clockwork, 99% of the time, banana, kefir yogurt. If you don't know what kefir is, look it up, folks. Yeah. It's a super yogurt. So my banana, yogurt, strawberries, blueberries, my chia seeds, my flax seeds on top of that. I sprinkle oats on top of that, and then some organic honey or just regular honey, just give it a little sweetness. And then that's my breakfast, and that holds me over. If I eat that at 9, I'm not hungry till like 3. I mean, and I feel like I could go run a marathon, and it gives me, so it's quality calories, it's full calories, not BS calories from some crappy cereal or some like mocha frappuccino with a bagel. That's garbage. So that's basically that. I will sometimes put it in a shake form, but oftentimes I just rather eat it. But I do a lot of those. I put them into the shake too.
Yeah.
And that's like my breakfast almost all. I do eggs though. I do a hard-boiled egg every so often for breakfast. I'll eat 1 or 2 of those. And to the people who would say, well, eggs have a lot of cholesterol, your body makes thousands of milligrams of cholesterol every day. An egg is not going to kill you.
Not the same kind of cholesterol.
Yeah. And it's a misnomer. And I think a lot of people need to get on some eggs. And if you have high cholesterol,
whole eggs. Add whole eggs. Whole eggs, not just egg white. Whole eggs.
100%.
You should have a joke and everything.
The whole egg. 100%, because a lot of people don't know. They think that the egg, because of the cholesterol, is bad. And I would say, no, do your research, read, talk to a dietitian, not your doctor.
That is something that was like,
talk to a doctor, talk to a dietitian.
Yeah. Because that was something that got popular in like the late 80s. So I mean,
we love our doctors, but not for food knowledge. Go ahead.
It's been disproven so many times, so it's completely obsolete, like knowledge or like
the single best food you could eat is an egg. If you had to pick one food to eat only, egg.
Eggs are good. Eggs are good. But remember, I usually take a couple of egg-free days. It's also because like eating too many eggs, you can get sensitive to it. So you have to kind of balance it a little bit, getting a break.
I'm not saying eat 90 eggs a day, right? If you have an egg every other day,
exactly.
Like that, or whatever, because, by the way, this was happening to me. My cholesterol, my triglycerides were high, not because of the egg. I found out of nobody's help, but I had to go research it myself. Yeah, because of the bagels I was eating, the toast I was eating, the bread I was eating, the chips I were eating every single day. Like if you have some bread or a bagel once a week, fine. But the pizza, the pasta, the bread, the chips, the bagels every day
occurrence
was raising my cholesterol. Oddly enough, I didn't know that. I was like, it was raising my triglycerides. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're getting down here real quick. Just real quick then, exercise. What's your typical exercise in a day? Like, what do you do?
So my exercise routine, I resistance train, so strength training. I do that usually 4 times a week. It has not been that, I'm going to be honest, with the move and everything. It's been too much chaos and moving everything back and forth. But I usually I have a pretty like straightforward split. It's like push, pull, and then lower body. And then I start the next week is on my 4th day. So then I'm starting push again. So it rotates usually between like two weeks, training weeks. And then I just rotate that for about a month or so. And then I switch the program up. So that's very, very short explanation on how I do it.
Right.
Then I'm trying to hit,
you're moving, you're
10,000 steps a day. I have 2 Yorkies, so we're out walking and then just trying to move around. So I usually try to hit 10,000 steps at least a day, and and then throw in some, like a little bit of mobility work here and there, like stretching and like the things, but kind of simple, not too much.
Yeah, I just walk. I'm sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, no, you play tennis a lot. I know that you play tennis.
Say that too, but
yeah. So I mean, you're moving around, but it's also kind of funny to see like tennis. Like certain tennis, you see like 2 dudes are standing and like they're not moving anything, shooting the ball back and forth. That is not like exercise.
Right. Well, I mean, it's better than sitting, but
of course, 100%. But it's like you should actually try to move and run around a little bit. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, my thing is my bread and butter. Actually, no pun intended. Is walking. So I'll walk anywhere from 10 to 17 miles a week. Little walks. I'm not even sweating, but I get up. I move.
Very
and
important.
Then from there, I incorporate some calisthenics, your push-ups, your sit-ups, or you're holding a pose for a while, like almost like yoga-ish. If it's bad weather out, I don't like gyms. I will walk in place and watch television. So I'll say to myself, this television program is a half hour long. I'm going to walk in place and watch TV for 1/2 hour.
That's excellent.
It looks silly, but it helps. It works all the time.
But again, you also living in a big city, it might be hard to get out. Like there might not be space or anything like that to do that. So they actually be able to do those things indoors, like whatever you have to do to find a way of moving.
Get up, move, right.
Walk stairs, whatever it is.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be sweating. That's the other thing. I think a lot of people think, if we're going to work out, bro, I got to get the chest monitor. I got to my pulse, bro. It doesn't always have to be that way. You don't have to be a drenching sweat. Just get up, move.
And
I
think you're right about that.
Just get up, and then you'll start to pack on other motions and other exercises as you go through the weeks and years. And months.
And that's you pointing one thing out that I also want to point out. Like you do not need an hour or two to train, and I think that's where a lot of people go. Oh, I have to get dressed. I have to go down to the gym, travel 20 minutes to get there, find a parking spot for 5 minutes, then walk in and train for like an hour and a half. No, like if you can do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just somewhere throughout the day and do that a couple of times, that's golden. It's everything, all the small things adds up.
100%. I could hire a landscaper, okay? Now, I don't live in a mansion. Most people don't. And you can't say, I'm too busy. Well, but you have to do exercise anyway, so I just mow my own lawn. It takes me like 20 minutes. And you can say, well, what's that going to do? Again, it's not any one thing. It's all adding things up over the day, over the week, over the month, over the year. It all comes together for a healthy person. You can't think about a silver bullet. There is no silver bullet. It's all just adding, compounding little things, a little walk, a little mow the lawn, or a little bit walking in place, or a little bit walking the dog instead of just letting the dog in the backyard, or whatever. And eating premium quality food. Don't put cheap gas in your Ferrari. That's what I say. Anyways, all right. So listen, I want to respect your time. I know you got to go. So anything you wanted to add before we sign off?
No, we had more things that we were going to talk about.
Yeah, we went on with that rabbit hole.
No, we can. But do you want to go longer?
I could do that. Listen, but I'm saying I'm trying to be respectful of your time.
Yeah, no, I have time if you want me to. I can stay for a little bit.
Minutes. That's fine. Yeah. I know, because I do. The thing too is, and I think I told you, I tend to like to stack the topics just in case I'd rather have more to talk about than less to talk about.
Let's move that to the next time, and then so we need to respect other people's time. They usually accept like 30 minutes. We're already past. So let's keep that to the next time. No, I also want to say that like what we're talking about like now in the end that Anthony pointed out, all the small things adds up. Big picture, like it's so important to have that mindset. Health is not an all or nothing. Health it's in between there. Like there's a lot of like a gray scale. It's not black and white. So think about that. The more small choices you make for the better off you're gonna be down the road. Because we're talking about years upon years upon years upon years. So, and that builds a big mountain of health. So,
and by the way, walking or exercise or getting up is also it's the best for your mind.
Yep.
So we all have stress and anxiety. Getting out, if it does anything, never mind physical, it is great. It releases the what do you call it? I don't know if it's
endorphins.
Endorphins.
Yep.
Which is a mood booster just by getting up. So, right. If anything, it improves the mind. But okay, very good. So that's it. Anything else, Magnus? I'm gonna sign off here, buddy.
No, we're good. Thank you so much. Great episode.
Yeah, man. Yeah, listen, people are like, yo, you guys. I'm like, hey, we're gonna be on the red carpet someday, accepting our award with all of our. Anyways,
our award is people actually being healthier. That's kind of the main thing.
And it helps us too to talk about this too. It's a win-win, and we're all struggling.
Yeah.
We're all going through our struggles, and so we're just sharing that. But thanks, everybody. Magnus, thank you. We'll see you next week. I might do something quick tomorrow by myself, but otherwise, Magnus, I'll see you Wednesday, and then we'll talk about maybe having you on if you're available for the other dietitian.
Perfect.
If you'd like. So
love it.
All right, our people will talk to your people. Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah. Take care, guys.
Thanks guys. Have a good week.
Be safe.
Bye, everybody. All right. 1, 2, 3. Bye.